Have you ever wondered if your manuscript is the right fit for a particular journal? Or maybe you had questions about a journal's submission process that weren't answered in the author instructions? In many cases, you can get answers to these questions by sending a pre-submission inquiry to your journal of interest. And in this video, I'm going to share the benefits of pre-submission inquiries, when these inquiries are helpful, and how to submit a pre-submission inquiry to a journal. And if we haven't met, hello, my name is Crystal Heron. I'm a trained biomedical scientist turned clinical researcher and now scientific and medical editor. And I've helped thousands of scientists, clinicians, and other professional writers master the craft of writing so they can write with intention and maximize their impact in their field. So what are pre-submission inquiries? Pre-submission inquiries are short letters that a prospective author sends to journal editors to gauge their interest in considering a manuscript for publication in their journal. These inquiries are optional, and many authors I've worked with don't know that they can send a pre-submission inquiry. But these inquiries are a great publication strategy. So when might you want to send a pre-submission inquiry? Pre-submission inquiries are helpful when you want to ensure that your work is a good match for the mission and scope of the journal and the journal's readership. And these inquiries can be particularly helpful in certain situations. For example, if the study has time-sensitive significance and should be considered for priority review and publication, unless, of course, the journal offers a separate expedited review process. These inquiries are also helpful if the journal has not published studies with a similar topic or scope, but the study would be relevant and interesting to the journal's readership. These inquiries are also helpful if the study needs special review or guidance based on unusual circumstances, such as if some of the study data was previously published. Now, some of the authors I've worked with have found pre-submission inquiries really helpful in these situations. And I'm curious, have you ever sent a pre-submission inquiry to a journal? If so, what was your experience? Share it in the comments below. So, what are the benefits of pre-submission inquiries? Pre-submission inquiries have many benefits for both authors and journals. For authors, pre-submission inquiries can open a line of communication with the editor and the journal that can help with preparing, submitting, and reviewing the manuscript. These inquiries can also show that you are interested in publishing in the journal, and they can help you to quickly find out if your paper fits within the scope and mission of the journal. These inquiries can also help you to rapidly explore multiple journals without committing to submitting to one journal at a time. And in some cases, these inquiries can get you some editorial feedback and advice for improving the manuscript. And if the manuscript is not the right fit, the editor sometimes can give you recommendations for more suitable journals that you can submit to. These inquiries can also be helpful if you need clarification on the submission process, such as timelines or publication policies, if these details are not already available in the author instructions or elsewhere on the journal's website. Now, pre-submission inquiries also have benefits for journals. So, pre-submission inquiries can help editors to pre-screen manuscripts to see if they are suitable for peer review for that particular journal. Pre-submission inquiries can also help editors to show their interest or the journal's interest in the work. And they can help editors to conserve resources that are needed for editor reviews or peer reviews or other aspects of the submission and publication process. With pre-submission inquiries, editors can also provide quick decisions to authors so they don't have to wait weeks or months for news and possibly face a desk rejection. These inquiries are also an opportunity for the editor to give constructive feedback to authors about the suitability of the work for the journal. And if applicable, editors can address authors' concerns or questions about the submission and review process. So pre-submission inquiries can help authors and editors to build rapport, proactively mitigate risks, and prevent desk rejections. So how do you submit a pre-submission inquiry? First, check the author instructions. Some journals do not accept pre-submission inquiries, or they only accept them for certain types of articles. And some journals give explicit guidance on how to submit pre-submission inquiries, such as uploading documents to an electronic system. If the journal has an electronic system, follow the instructions carefully. For example, you might need to conform to a word limit, or you might need to submit the names and contact information for all the authors, or you might need to share disclosures such as trial registration confirmations or conflicts of interest. If the journal doesn't have specific guidance, you can email an editor at the journal. For this email, you'll want to attach the title and abstract, but not the full paper. The editor likely won't read the full paper, and you don't want them to think that you are hoping for some kind of special treatment or guarantee that the paper will get accepted for publication. The editor's thoughts on whether your paper is a good fit for the journal is non-binding and does not guarantee that it will be sent for peer review or published in the journal. In addition to the title and abstract, you want to include a cover letter that is no more than 2 pages. In the letter, start by thanking the editor for taking the time out of their busy schedule to read your pre-submission inquiry. This makes a good first impression and helps to lay a respectful and professional foundation for a good relationship. Then clearly request what feedback you are seeking from the editor. That way, they have the context of your question before reading about your paper. For example, if you want to know if the work is a good fit for the journal, you would ask if the editor thinks the manuscript is a good fit for the journal. And if not, if there is another journal they might recommend. Or if the work is time sensitive, you might ask if it would be possible to expedite the review. The key is to be as specific as possible so that you are clear and respect the editor's time. Then you want to write a brief introduction of the research question and what motivated that question. In other words, why is that question important to the field? Then you want to write a short summary of the key results. You might also want to include important details about the study design, model systems, study population, or other methods, especially if these details are technical strengths or novel in some way. If you are reporting results from a clinical trial, be sure to include the registration number and the registry. Then you want to write a short discussion of the interpretations and implications of the work. These details need to highlight why the work is important and of interest to the journal's readership. In some cases, you might want to include a few citations and a short list of key references, no more than 10, that can help to give context for the editor to gauge how the work advances the field. Be sure to include any of your own relevant publications or even any unpublished work from your group that is related to the work you are inquiring about and that is being considered for publication in another journal. In some cases, you might also include a figure that depicts some of the key results or data of the study, but this is optional. Then you want to thank the editor again for their time and be sure to sign the message and include your contact information. Then give the editor some time, a week or two, to get back to you. If you don't hear back after 2 weeks, you might give them a gentle nudge. Now, if you'd like a little help with drafting a pre-submission inquiry, I created a template for you that you can download for free. I'll add a link to it in the description box. So the pre-submission process, whether using a digital system or crafting a letter, is a little work upfront. But taking the time early on to send a pre-submission inquiry can save you from waiting weeks or months only to hear that your paper was desk rejected for not being the right fit for the journal. And if your manuscript ends up not being the right fit, you can send the same or similar inquiry to a different journal. And many of the details that you include in a pre-submission inquiry will be important to include in the cover letter with your formal submission anyway, so you really aren't doing much extra work. And if you're not sure what journal to submit to or to send a pre-submission inquiry to, you might want to check out this video about how to choose the best journal for your manuscript. And if there's something in particular that you'd like to learn more about, let me know in the comments. I create these videos for you, so I want to make sure I'm creating something that you will find valuable. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day, and I hope to see you in the next video.